Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Faulkner. I'm an intern for Village Core. For other events like this, be sure to check out villagecore.org or check out our YouTube channel in case you miss any of these events. Today, we'll be discussing the NBA app along with the NBA website, which are both the same exact thing. The NBA app, unfortunately, isn't on any computers. It is on your smartphone. So here I'm just going to go give you a little rundown on my computer of the NBA website, but you can download the NBA app from the App Store, Google Play Store, or wherever you get your apps from on any device that is handheld. Um, so here we have the NBA app, which means you can discover all things NBA related. So this means that you can watch games, you can get tickets to games, you can see schedules, you can see when tournament starts, you can see the stats of players. You can also see where players are standing. You can see the different teams that are a part of the NBA. You can see future games that are coming up. You can see how players train, and then you can also, of course, do fantasy with NBA, where you can create your own team and then get some money out of that um, and at a later date. So here we just have the general overview and the general homepage, where we get some news about stars that are in that about people who are in the NBA and players who are in the NBA, as well as we can see NBA League Pass, which we'll get into in a minute. And then we can also see headlines, we can see stories, what's trending, and then the league pass again. And then we can also see different kinds of documentaries and interviews. And then there's also some other stuff related to the NBA further down. So essentially, what the NBA app allows you to do, or the NBA website, is it allows you to kind of just go over and see everything that's related to the sport of basketball and anything that you might be interested in. So the cool thing about NBA is that they now have the NBA League Pass. So essentially, what the NBA League Pass is it's kind of like your way to watch the season live. So this could be, let's say, watching games commercial free, or just watching games live and on demand using the NBA TV coverage. So this means that you can access anytime, at any point, any game that is going on within the NBA right here from either the app or from the website as we are using currently. So this means if I were to go to the NBA TV function, I'd be able to subscribe, sign in, select my TV provider, and then the NBA Pass would allow me to watch the games that are occurring and would allow me to kind of have my own profile set up and other things like that. So the League Pass is something that you may be interested in if you're an avid fan of basketball. There's also different kinds of interviews, different breakdowns of the games, and as well as there will always be a scorecard up here for your games that are happening as of right now or that have had or that are coming up. So as you can see here, there are a few games that might be happening right now. We can watch them. We can look at the box score. And then we can also look at the game details. So right now, the Bulls and the Heat are going against each other. We can keep up to date on their scores. We can see where their standings are, the game info, and other information like that. We can also look at different types of games. So here we can see the games that are going on, and then you can also select your day. So today is December 14th. So I want to look at December 14th. I want to specifically look at Thursday. So here we have a few games that are pre-game, which essentially means that their games aren't starting yet because it is only 4:36 where I am in San Diego. But these games will eventually start up, and then I can go watch these games at whatever time they start up. We can also see later games, like the games that are happening at 8:30 to around 10:30, depending on where you live. So always be sure to check if you are wanting to watch one of these games, and then you'll be able to access these games. There's also tickets. So through the NBA app, you are able to buy tickets to upcoming games. So if you want the chance to go see an NBA game in person, you have the chance through the NBA website or through the NBA app to buy tickets. It's the same for any other sporting app that you may use, such as the MLB app or other thing like that, or anything like that. You'd get a link straight to Ticketmaster where you can go through, you can find the section that you want, and you can also zoom in. Um, I zoomed in a little bit too far. You can zoom in here and you can get whatever tickets that you see fit. So let's say I wanted to use VIP seats, if I can even select them. So I wanted VIP, section VIP 18, row B, seat 2, and this would cost me around $845. Um, and so here we can basically get an overview, get a breakdown of the prices. We can see the different sections. We can see what games are playing, and then we can select our tickets accordingly and make sure that we have an enjoyable experience at one of these NBA games. So basically what we have here is we can see all these seats that might be available, and then we can also see the legend. So the seats that are blue are the ones that are available. So there's a huge chunk right here that's available. The ones that are red, relatively red, are the ones that are verified for resale. There's the accessibility ones, and then there's also the unavailable seats. So depending on where you want to be sitting, this is a good place to come, kind of check it out, kind of see what seats are open, what seats aren't, and then you'd be able to select accordingly. So as we can see here, all the front row seats are unavailable, but there are some seats in the corners here that we might be able to purchase. And if I want two seats next to each other, that would run me $680 plus taxes, of course. So as we can see here, any game you want that is upcoming, depending on where you are, what teams are playing, what teams you want to see. Here are the locations listed. So, and then here are the games that are playing. So let's say I wanted to see the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Sacramento Kings, or the Golden State Warriors and the LA Clippers. Let's go here. Let's say I want to see this game, buy the tickets, go through, purchase them, accordingly, make sure that the row I look at is the row for me, and the one that I want to be at. So here's some tickets that are courtside that I might be able to buy. And then of course, a QR code will be sent to my phone. And then when I go to the game, I can show the people at the game. I can say, I have the tickets. Here's my phone. Here's my proof. And they'll be able to let me in the game. So other things related to the NBA website, we also have the ability to watch the games. So once again, as I mentioned before, you will need the NBA League Pass in order to do this, or you will need to connect your TV provider to your computer and watch it that way. There's also news that you can watch. So the different news that is going on in the NBA, that is going around in the NBA, you'll be able to check up on the different stories, the different headlines, be able to look for your favorite players and see what's up with them, and see who's been drafted, who's been cut, and things of that nature. So we can see top stories, power rankings, 2024 All-Stars, Christmas Day, and then we can also see some other games, some other news that might be older news, and then there's also the writer archive, and then some more. There's also the in-season tournaments. So the tournaments that are going on, such as the inaugural NBA Cup, we'll be able to take a look at those. We'll be able to take a look at the replays and the highlights, as well as the interviews that go along with the players. There's also the stats. So if I wanted to take a look at the stats of the players, of every single player that might be on the NBA, what their stats are as of right now. I'm also able to take a look at the different stats of the teams. Um, there's a ton of different stats. So there's the draft stats, there's quick links, there's the media central game stats, and other stats of that nature. There's also standings. So if you're looking to see what team is number one right now, you'd be able to see the teams that are ranked. You can look at their standing, you can look at their wins, you can look at their points overall, how many games they've won and lost, and other things of that nature. So if you're looking to get an in-depth look at all these teams, you'd be able to through the stats function. There's also the teams. So if you're not particularly looking for um, a team that if you're not looking for, let's say you don't want to hear about the Detroit Pistons, but you really want to hear about the Los Angeles Lakers, you'd be able to go to the entire page dedicated to the Los Angeles Lakers. So here, once again, we have kind of like a different view of the website. Here we have the news and media related to the Lakers. Here we have the team, so we have the roster, the coaches, the standings, the broadcasters, other things like that. On your schedule, we have their tournament schedule where you'll be able to see when they play, what times they play at, as well as being able to buy tickets. So if you want to buy tickets to different kind of Lakers games, this would be where you'd come to buy those tickets for those Laker games. You can also see the Lakers girls. You can see the community, the store that the Lakers have. So if you wanted to get some Lakers merch, this would be your place to come. You can also look at their social media, or you can look at their careers that they might have with the Lakers, um, as well as being able to see different kinds of scores. We can watch the replay, we can look at the game tracker, other things like that. But here is the whole entire breakdown of the Lakers, and where you'll be able to find the Lakers, as well as kind of like interviews, press conferences, and other things of that nature. So going back here, we'll look at the players tab. So here we have the players home. Um, where you'll be able to get a look at the different types of players. So if I wanted to look for, let's say I wanted to look for, let's say I wanted to look for, let's go for Garrett Allen here. So here we have Garrett Allen, and then we can see his overall scoring point, his overall scores, what his standings are, what his rankings are, what he's been doing right, what he's been doing wrong, and how he can improve, as well as some news on him. And then we can also get other players that are related to him, and also players on his team. We can also see the future starts now, which essentially means it's basically the future cups that are coming up, as well as future players. So these could be young players who are not quite in the NBA yet, but they're rising stars, and they might eventually be coming to the NBA with promise. And so this is where the NBA likes to feature these types of players and give you kind of like a rundown on what these players are doing, who these players are, and what potential they have in the future. We can also see NBA fitness. So we can see there's different types of news. Sorry, I really had to yawn there. Sorry about that. But here we see there's different types of news. So there's like different types of trainers. There's different types of kind of being able to watch players actually work out. So if you're really into seeing how these different types of players train, there's the ability to watch that here under the NBA Fitness. There's also different types of coaching, and then as well as being able to watch kind of like the grind as well as other things. So this is kind of where you'll come if you want to learn how NBA players shoot, as well as being taught how to shoot like an NBA player. So if you're somebody who's looking to kind of get back on the basketball courts, and you don't really know what you're doing, this is kind of a place for you to come and get an overview of what you can do to improve your playing style when you're playing just a casual game against friends or anything like that. So now moving on to the fantasy tab, we have the fantasy homepage where you'll be able to look at all the picks, all the different types of fantasy news, and then as well as where you'll be able to do your sports betting. So here we have FanDuel, which is a sports book, which is for sports betting. And then, of course, the more popular one that a lot of people know is DraftKings. So here are some of the authorized gaming operators. So here we have like Bet365, we have Fox Bet, we have 888 Sports. We also have Hard Rock Sportsbook. These are some affiliated these are some affiliated betting fantasy places where you'll be able to create a roster with your players, and then you'll be able to go through and see what type of money you can win. Um, Keep in mind that depending on what state you live in, this will vary depending on the laws related to online sports betting and other things of that nature. So if you are looking to sports bet, be sure to check out the laws that are associated with your area. All you have to do is just look up laws of sports betting laws of California. And then the sports betting laws of California will come up for me, and I'll be able to review them and see, okay, I can't sports bet, or okay, I can sports bet. So that is really important for you to note, because some areas don't like it, other areas do like it and approve of it. It's just really dependent on the area. As well as that, we have the fantasy news. We have oops, I messed myself up. But we have the fantasy news. We have NBA Pick'em, which is basically where you'll rank your players and things of that nature. And kind of like a fun little game where you can go through, answer questions, and other things like that. We have the play score. We have the Yahoo Fantasy Sports. We also have FanDuel. We have DraftKings again. We have NBA Bet. So this is like their own, and there's their own betting center within the NBA, and other things like that. But here as well, if you are an avid fan of NBA and you are looking to buy some merch, they have the NBA store. So there are things like jerseys, which you'd be able to purchase your favorite players' jerseys, which would be shipped to you depending on the price. So let's say I wanted to get a Curry jersey. So I'd select my size, I'd add it to my cart, and then it'd be shipped to me when I put in my address, when I put in my billing information, and other things like that. So here we can get a jersey depending on the price of what you're looking for, and then it'll be shipped to you, and you'll have your jersey present. And they do make good presents if you are looking for these jerseys as any type of present coming up in the future. So we have men's, we have women's, we have kids. We also have the custom shop where you'll be able to customize your jersey or customize the merch that you're looking for. So real quick, we'll take a look at that custom shop here. So you'd be able to create kind of like your own jerseys here. Sorry, once again. You'll be able to create your own jerseys here, basically. This is kind of like your place to come, kind of your place to create your own merch. You can see different kinds of bags, different kinds of pillows, jerseys, jackets, t-shirts, whatever you can think of, you might be able to find it here, and you might be able to customize it to your liking. What else do we have here? We have kind of like the Hardwick Classics. We have hats, footwear. We have NBA game worn jerseys. So if you're looking for kind of like that authentic merch from the games that were worn by actual players, here is kind of like your place to come. Unfortunately, you can't just buy it upright. You do have to bet on it. So here we have a jersey where I'd be able to register and bid for the jersey. It's just really dependent on what you're looking for and how much you're able to pay. Some jerseys go for insane prices, where in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. It just really depends on what you're looking for, and also who's also looking for that specific type of wear that the players were wearing. So as we can see here, we have photos of different kinds of players running around. So the jersey might be for sale, or the shorts might be for sale, or the shoes. The shoes are very coveted items. So the shoes might be for sale. We also have the photo store. So if you're looking for kind of like different kinds of photos from different games of your favorite players, here we have different photos that you'll be able to find. So let's say I wanted a Kyrie Irving photo. I'd be able to go through it. I'd be able to select what photo I want. And then I'd be able to hang up that photo when it comes to me. And I can customize the frame and other things like that. So let's say I want Kyrie Irving going like this. I can select my frame, how it's going to look on my wall. I can also preview how it's going to look on my wall. And it's a very small photo, but I can also customize the size of the photos. So here we have a much bigger size photo, and here you can see it above the couch to get kind of a general reference of what you're buying. There's also the tickets, as I mentioned before, where you'll be able to go to different kinds of games. And then there's kind of like a different look at their other kind of affiliated leagues. Like here we have the NBA G League, we have the WNBA, which is the women's version, and then we also have a few other leagues that are associated with the NBA. So it's really just dependent on what you're looking for, how avid of a basketball fan you are, or how much you're trying to understand basketball. So for some of us, we don't necessarily know a lot about basketball, but here's a nice place to come and get a breakdown of what basketball is like. You'll be able to talk about it with your friends, especially at different kinds of parties, other things like that. It's really just up to you what you're wanting to do with the NBA website. If you are wanting to become an avid fan, this is where you'd go to get your news about the players, to watch the games, or to even go to the games and buy tickets. Other than that, I don't have really much else to offer or say. So once again, my name is Brandon Faulkner. I'm an intern for VillageCore. And for other events like this, be sure to check out villagecore.org or check out our YouTube channel in case you miss one of these meetings. Thank you so much for watching.